Hey guys, Sobroni of G&A Reviews here with an update to the Brynhildr Spotlight. For those of you who aren't aware, she's recently received a huge strengthening quest for her third skill, Hero Sidekick, in JP. And this buff is so massive that it actually completely changes the order in power rankings as far as how good Brynhildr is. It's a massive buff, one of the best buffs I've ever seen to a single skill. So what's changed is that after the strengthening quest, her critical star gather rate increases from 600% to 3000%, and she also gains the effect of increasing a target's critical strength for 3 turns by 40%. And the reason this is so huge is because of that increase from 600% to 3000%, and of course that extra crit damage. A 3000% crit star gather rate increase essentially amounts to an Eternal Arms Mastery skill, which is the same skill that Lancelot has. And the reason that's so important is because 3000% means that you're giving Berserkers a good chance to get crit stars, and because this is targetable, she can use it on someone like, say, Herc, who has no business being a crit Berserker, and now all of a sudden you have a Herc who can gather crit stars, has a 40% crit damage buff, and has just recovered 3000 HP. And he has this for 3 turns on a 5-turn cooldown, meaning for the majority of the fight, any Berserker you target is just going to be a crit Berserker. And that's pretty massive. One of my biggest complaints with Brynhildr in the initial spotlight was that this Hero Sidekick skill was good, but it was pretty niche in that it only really worked on servants that were like Sabers or Lancers or Archers, and most of them already had crit buffing skills or crit star gather rate skills, so this completely opens the door to the fact that now anyone can be made into a crit servant as long as they're under the effects of this skill. So that widely expands Brynhildr's niche, and it makes her a top tier crit support. On top of that, she can even just use it on herself to give herself unbelievable damage. And that arguably makes her the best crit Lancer right now in JP. And she's the complete package. She's kind of a crit engine all to herself because she has the crit damage buff, she has the crit star gather rate increase, and she has on her Noble Phantasm the increased crit star drop rate for all allies. So she's a self-sufficient crit star generating critting machine. So all in all, this gives her greater synergy with a wider range of servants. It drastically increases her own damage potential, and it just gives her more room to work in more teams. She does obviously still have a few problems. For one thing, her second skill, Primordial Rune, is pretty lackluster still. She doesn't have a dodge or invincibility, so she's still pretty prone to being one-shot in harder quests. And her beloved trait is still just a watered-down anti-male. It's just nowhere near as good as just having an anti-male Noble Phantasm. But all that aside, I mean, this is just a huge buff that massively expands her gameplay and makes her so much better. In my original spotlight, I gave her a B. I'm upgrading that to an A- once she gets the strengthening quest. Now that's going to be a long way away for NA. It's going to at least be a year, if not 2 years. And for comparison's sake, I gave Karna a B+ and Skahak an A-. I would say that Brynhildr is better than both of them right now. She's a lot better than Karna now, and she's better than Skahak as well. And I would place her somewhere in the top 3 Lancers. I don't know where, but somewhere in the top 3 is where she belongs. And if you don't have Brynhildr, unfortunately, you're going to have to wait. The next time she appears in a gacha is going to be during NeuroFest 2019. So more than a year away, which gives you plenty of time to save. But for those of you who do have Brynhildr, start investing in her because she's going to pay off really well once she gets that strengthening quest. And that's all I got to say about this. I will be releasing more of these updates for older spotlights as well, so look forward to those. If you enjoyed this video, please do consider leaving a like, and if you really enjoyed it, please consider subscribing. And if you haven't already, do follow us over on Twitter, and join the party over at our Discord. I'll see you all in the next Servant Spotlight. This is Sobroni, signing out. Later.